Den Keeper checking in. Tonight we're making ribeye of Horus steak. We're going to talk about ancient Egypt, dig into the mythology, dig into a lot of the conspiracies, and cook up a nice meal. I got 2 pounds of ribeye steak here, and I'm letting them come down to room temperature so that they're not too cold when we put them in the pan. I'm going to use dry ingredients. I got the pink player from the Himalaya salt right here. I got the fancy schmancy fresh black pepper, courtesy of my wife. We got some dry granulated garlic, and I'm gonna try to put this Italian seasoning to good use. We want that seasoned, dry rub crust effect on the outside. I got unsalted butter, then I'm gonna cook the fresh garlic in the unsalted butter and use that as the oil to fry the steaks. Onion will basically go in at the end as a topping or like a finisher. I'm gonna share some of my thoughts and be back to cook up the steak. I'm gonna give you my basic regular Joe's understanding of ancient Egypt. If I missed something or there's something you want to clear up for me, let me know in the comments down below. Without getting too crazy about culture and race, I always find it weird that they call it Egypt and they never really reference Northern Africa. They make Egypt into this place of its own that's detached from the place that it's actually in, which is Africa. Apparently, Egypt was not even called Egypt. It was called Kemet, and God knows who made that name up and what it was called before that. But we all know that Egypt is a made-up name for a place that was known as Kemet. Egypt is popularized and sold with a bunch of different educational marketing campaigns. It never really gets down to the nitty-gritty of who the true people of that land, who those people were. It always talks about the people that were ruling and conquering, who are the people that then write the history. They tell you that they lived this way, that way. They show you how advanced they were, but then they can't explain the pyramids. Let's get into the pyramids. There are pyramids all over the world. We all know that the triangle has a whole bunch of ancient knowledge and truth in it. And then they want to tell you that they don't know how they were built. First they say it was Jewish slaves. Then they say that that's not exactly who it was. Other people maintain that that's who built it. There's this whole thing about we really don't know who built the pyramids. So why is there an entire school of thought called Egyptology? Why would I go and spend $40, $50, $60,000 to learn about an ancient place that people claim they really don't know about? That's the thing with Egypt, right? That's the thing with Egypt. No matter who tells you about it, it's always, well, we really don't know. You're damn right you don't know. People don't even know what the fuck is going on 2-3 weeks ago. Like, there are cases that are unsolved and shit that we can't figure out that happened not that long ago. So why are we focusing and putting our attention into this made up story and these stories that historians deliver to you only to tell you that they actually don't know the truth? Like, people that really know about ancient Egypt, they're not very happy about where things are going, because what it shows you is that over and over and over again, the history books are written by the victors, and you really don't know what was going on. Ancient aliens. I love a good conspiracy theory. I love a cool story. I love science fiction. But as it was presented to me recently, how ignorant do you have to be? And how prejudiced do you have to be to not be able to believe that a group of people from a certain place were smart enough and savvy enough to build something like the pyramids? Like you would rather believe that aliens came down and built the pyramids than to believe that these people from this place built this thing, all this ancient technology. I believe it. I totally believe it. I believe that those pyramids were being used to send signals and receive signals. I think the pyramids are antennas, and I believe that the minerals in those rocks were able to be used the way that we use them today to make cell phones and different things. Where did the tech go? Where did the tech go? I can't answer that. What I believe as a regular guy who pays his bills and is a supporter of this system from the position that I'm in, very close to the bottom, I believe that people were able to build crazy technology way back in the day, and that things essentially destroyed themselves. People used them and abused them, and eventually everything went kaput. And it lets you know about where things could possibly go if we're not smart about how we use our technology now. And I'm saying this for the person out there who feels the same way, and they're like, hey, you know what? It's kind of cool to hear somebody say the same stupid ass shit that I believe. Egyptology. We know how the system works. We know how these people play. There's an entire education. I'm going to go for 4 years to school, and I'm going to study Egyptology, and I'm going to get a piece of paper on my wall that says to everyone, I majored in not knowing shit about history. I know all the stories, and I know all the bullshit, but it all ends with, we really don't know. And that's not enough for me. If I told you I went to school for Puerto Ricoology, you'd be like, man, that's cool. You know, I'm sure you're smart. I'm sure you read a lot. I'm sure you did a bunch of reports and you did a bunch of shit. But like, you know, how are you going to pay the bills with that? But the point here is that their culture was stolen and abused and used and then turned into some fairy tale story for people nowadays to just do what they want with it, because people do what they want with the ancient Egyptian knowledge or whatever you want to call it. I think ancient people were a lot like us. I don't think people were like so much different maybe 1,000 years ago. I think there were a lot of people like us back in the day that were like, yo, this shit don't make no sense, but I got to do what I got to do to get by. And the crazy people that believe in all this ritualistic nonsense are the people that climb to the top, because most normal people are like, I don't want nothing to do with that. Crazy people somehow have a way of getting to the top of things. Ancient Egypt, it's interesting, it's fun to dig into, but what really is it? And then they want to deny the things that we all recognize, like that there are pyramids all over the world, and that these structures all line up with weird astrological signs and different times of year and seasons. These things were not there to bury pharaohs. These pyramids are said to predate even the time that people talk about when they refer to quote unquote ancient Egypt. It just don't make no sense to me. I'm interested in knowing how you feel about quote-unquote ancient Egypt. Time to season up the steaks and get them into the pan.
Sorry, babe. Do it again.
Just keep it rolling. Is it still rolling?
Yeah, but I didn't get...
Okay. It's fine. Just let it keep rolling. We're good?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to season up the steaks and we're going to get them into the pan. I don't have a fancy cast iron skillet pan like my rich friend Subcoach at Outcast, all right? I'm just a regular guy, but we're going to get this thing hot enough that it's gonna fry these steaks up nicely. Now that these are close to the temperature I want them to be, I'm gonna start with some salt. Very, very basic. All right, we're gonna get this on top of here. This is pink Himalayan salt. All right, there's a lot of that coming out. We got that on there. Now we wanna hit it with the garlic. All right, we're doing all dry ingredients on the outside. Boom. Don't worry about it being too much. We want that nice crust on the outside. Boom. We got that going there. Now I'm going to hit it with the black pepper. Should I make it a little bit more coarse?
Yeah.
More coarse. There we go. Yeah, same shit. So you think I should hit it with paprika? I like the flavor of the smoked paprika. I want to try to keep the ingredients as like true to their source as they can be. We're going to hit the other side. It always freaks me out when your hand gets kind of like gross and then you start touching all this stuff. All right, we're gonna hit it with the salt. That's baby Truth in the background. I don't know if you can see this here. This is going crazy. We got the garlic on there. We got the salt. We got the pepper. And we're gonna throw some paprika. Oh man, there's no going back now, guys. Babe, everything's good over there? All right. Should I hit it with the Italian seasoning? Yeah, why not, right? Let's give it a little bit of like an herbiness. We're gonna let this kind of sit here for a little bit longer, maybe 10 minutes. And now I'm gonna jump over here And since we don't have the fancy schmancy cast iron skillet, we're gonna just let this thing get really, really hot. This pan is nice and hot. We are gonna put these steaks onto the pan and we're gonna get that nice sear that we want on there. We're not gonna move it once it's on there. So now, I've had those on there for about 30 seconds. I'm gonna introduce this softened butter to the equation. Oh yeah. And now the heat's gonna just do its job. And that's gonna get all on there. Look at that. Actually give it even more. Now we're gonna get this garlic on there too. We're gonna give it a little smashy smash. Getting this garlic on top of here. And I know y'all wondering what I'm doing, but trust me, this is all gonna make sense in a second. Let's go for the flip. It's the moment of truth here. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted right there. That's what I'm talking about. And now that garlic and that butter is gonna get all up in there on the bottom. I'm happy. We got that flipped. We're gonna slice this onion up, let it saute in the garlic and the butter. We're about ready to eat soon. This has already been preheated, so these are here. Alright, this is doing this thing over here. Alright. Get some butter on there. And bring those back on top. We need some more butter. Fuck it. Fries are done. We give it that last minute that's left on there, and let's test this steak out. Alright, not as spectacular on that side, but as you can see here, we got a nice juicy steak. Let's see what we got going on. The moment of truth. Alright, yeah. Oh, that's lovely. I think that's fine. It's looking really, really good. Oh yeah, that's a juicy steak right there. Well, hell yeah. I'll take that. Hell yeah. Yep. Yo. This is fire right here. Most of all, thank you for joining me. And thanks for taking the time to watch this, and hopefully maybe we could share a meal together one day. Den Keeper, checking in. You are welcome to the table.